The complete and utter collapse of the EA Creator Network is making headlines. Video game news sites like IGN, Polygon, and PC Gamer have all reported on the mass exodus of popular Sims YouTubers from the EA Creator Network. Yet curiously, there's also been a handful of Sims creators who've decided to remain in the network. And as one article so brilliantly put it, they're getting dragged. Sims creator Deligracy, who has 1.2 million subscribers, said in a post that she'll remain in the EA Creator Network in order to, quote, be a positive voice encouraging The Sims to remain a safe and inclusive game for all players.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter if the game is safe and inclusive when the owners of that game are executing queer people.
She's got a point.
Do not sit up here in front of your 1 million subscribers and pretend to care about diversity and inclusion for all players when you're working with and lining the pockets of a company whose owners despise diversity and inclusion. You're not Hannah Montana. You do not get the best of both worlds. This kind of thing right here is exactly what I do not like about Sims influencers. They really talk out of both sides of their mouths. I would much rather Deligracy say, I need the money so I'm staying in the Creator Network. James and I are renovating the house. I need to get more Botox.
I got botched by Botox.
I would have so much more respect for her and these other creators if they were just straight up. In her statement, she said she'll be deactivating her creator code and will not accept free packs from EA moving forward. So beyond that small boost in views she gets for making early access videos, what other reason is there to stay? If you remember, Deligracy posted a statement when the news of the buyout first broke, and in the statement she said she was really disappointed to see who EA was being sold to. My question is, how can you go from saying, I'm really disappointed about the new owners, to now not even acknowledging who the new owners are? It's weird to me, and it's weird to many of her viewers as well. One of the top comments on the post about her decision to stay in the Creator Network said this, "Hun, with all the respect I can muster, don't treat us as if we're idiots. You are staying because it's better for you financially. That's it. Not to give feedback as if you were someone higher up in the company. Performative indeed." That is just one comment out of several hundred very critical comments under her post. There was multiple people saying they're unsubscribing after following her for over 10 years. Others are begging her to play different games. Regardless of Deligracy's reason for staying, one thing is clear as day. Anyone who chooses to remain in the EA Creator Network is sending a message that they just don't care. And unfortunately, EA's Creator Network isn't the only shady network out there. Luckily, today's sponsor is here to help keep us safe. Thank you to CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring this video. When I'm not complaining about video games, you can actually find me outside touching grass.
I'm glad I did this.
But one thing you won't find me touching without protection is public Wi-Fi networks. That's because the internet is crawling with malicious trackers and websites, so you need a reliable VPN like CyberGhost to keep your information safe. With over 38 million users and 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, CyberGhost is one of the best VPNs out there. Your internet service provider, your school or work IT department, even your home Wi-Fi router, they can all track what you do online. And that's where CyberGhost VPN comes in. CyberGhost also unlocks geo-restricted games and content from over 40 streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. You can even score better deals online by simply changing your virtual location. It works on all major devices and operating systems: Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS, even that 10-year-old Dell laptop you used to play The Sims 4. You're covered. You can also protect up to 7 devices at the same time, which means it's perfect for sharing with family or your non-existent friends. The best part is you can grab CyberGhost VPN today for 84% off. It's literally $2.03 a month plus 4 extra months free. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure it costs less than a sofa in The Sims 4, and that's not even real life. So get this, they even offer a 45-day money-back guarantee as well as 24/7 customer support, so there's really nothing to lose. So join the 38 million CyberGhost users today by signing up using the link in the description. So I have a little case study for us today. Some of you may have heard about that drama surrounding the group of comics who were invited to Saudi Arabia to perform for the royal family.
Saudi Arabia, long criticized for its harsh and repressive human rights record,
hosted some of the biggest names in comedy.
This happened just a few weeks ago, right around the time the EA buyout was announced. Virtually every commentary channel on YouTube was calling out these comics and accusing them of being sellouts. The reason this really bothered people so much is that these comics are people who make their living by exercising their freedom of speech. Yet they took a check from a country who imprisons and executes people who speak freely. It just seemed morally wrong for them to do this.
Oh, they shouldn't do comedy over there because it's whitewashing a regime that just in June killed a journalist.
Saudi authorities said Turki Al Jasser was convicted on terrorism and treason charges, according to the Associated Press.
In all the videos I've made about the EA buyout, I've come across so many cases of Saudi citizens who have been imprisoned for decades just for tweeting something critical about the government. So when these comics took their bag from Saudi Arabia, people started calling them out.
There was a Saudi Arabian royal family-backed Riyadh Comedy Festival where basically every comedian with a pulse got paid a bag to go perform in Riyadh, and pretty much all of them did it with a big old smile on their face, and now that they've finished it, they're doing their best mental gymnastics to justify why it's actually not a big thing and they're not hypocrites for doing it. They execute people for some of the things they say.
Next year, when the EA sale closes, won't EA creators kind of be doing the same thing? Okay, they're not flying to Saudi Arabia and performing for the royal family, but they're still lining the Saudi government's pockets. The PIF, which will be the majority owner of EA, is managed and controlled by the Saudi royal family.
Its private investment fund is leading a deal to take control of video game giant Electronic Arts.
So in my eyes, next year when a Sims creator goes on YouTube and makes a Sims video promoting the next DLC, or when any of them take a sponsorship from EA, aren't they in their own way performing for the Saudi government? Because who's writing them that check? And whose products are they promoting? Whether it's the comics going to Saudi Arabia to perform or Sims creators getting sponsored by EA, in both examples we have people who are undermining their own values, and we have people who are working for and benefiting the same entity, the Saudi government. All this is to say, there's a reason why so many creators have decided to cut ties with EA, and why EA employees are petitioning to stop the buyout, and why politicians are urging the US government to reconsider this deal. The purchase of EA by the Saudi government and the Trump family is problematic on every single level. And just like those comics who went to Saudi Arabia to perform, I think it's shameful for anyone to continue to want to be associated with EA. And this is why so many creators like Deligracy are getting so much backlash for continuing to work with this company. It's also why creators like Ocean Sims, Satchon Sims, and Urban Sims have collectively lost thousands of subscribers since their statements about the buyout. Last week, Ocean and Urban Sims lost 1,000 subs each when they put out their statements about staying in the EA Creator Network. This isn't happening for no reason. Sometimes it's disappointing when people show us who they are and what they truly care about, or in this case, I guess, don't care about. Recently, popular creator Dr. Gluon addressed the buyout in a live stream, saying he doesn't plan to leave the EA Creator Network because his videos bring people a lot of joy, and that his viewers already know what he stands for.
It's all out or all in, you know? So if I quit, I gotta like leave The Sims. And I don't really want to. I feel like people get a lot of joy from the series, but also me playing, and I don't want to like take away that joy. You know, at this point, I think you know what I stand for and what I'm about, and I don't feel like playing a game represents who I am. You know who I am.
You know, he's right about that last part. His actions show us exactly what he stands for.
Yeah, just to kind of recap, I'm not going to go into it too much because it's very depressing, but the EA is being purchased by a big bad corporation, a country that's very bad, a bad country.
One of you told me about this video, and I'm so glad you did, because watching this, it really seems like Dr. Gluon hasn't thought about the situation at all.
Always look to the brighter side of life. Always look to the brighter side, like, exactly.
He's taking the same trite, played out approach that so many other creators have used, trying to minimize the situation and act like it's not really a big deal, but it's falling flat. To give you some history here, Dr. Gluon has been part of the EA Creator Network for several years. He was one of the people who was on that Sims reality TV show back in 2020. I made a whole video about that if you haven't watched it. It's maybe the worst thing to ever happen to TV. He's apparently close friends with other creators like James Turner and Vixella, and just a couple weeks ago he was at TwitchCon on EA's invitation, live streaming at the Sims booth. We don't need him to tell us where he stands when it comes to this issue because his actions are already showing us where he stands. I've seen a lot of discussion online where people have been defending creators who are choosing to stay in the Creator Network and saying things like, well, they need to pay their bills and they have families to provide for. I don't know about you, but if I found out that the new owners of the company I work for are torturing and executing people, I would find another job. I saw one comment that basically said it's wrong to expect smaller creators to lose the income they get from being in the Creator Network. Obviously, I'm a smaller creator myself. I've never been in a Creator Network, but I have worked with brands that give you like commissions whenever people use your affiliate link. And from my experience, these smaller creators are not making that much money anyway from their creator codes. From what I understand, they only earn a few cents every time someone uses their creator code. These smaller creators also don't get that many views, so even if they are doing early access content and maybe they're seeing a small increase in views, it's not significant. YouTube ad revenue, especially for gaming channels, does not pay that well. So what I'm saying is, if they leave the Creator Network, are they really losing out on that much? I don't see any world where staying in the Creator Network is make or break for them. And if I were Daddy Malcolm with the family to support, I would not be out here playing an 11-year-old game on YouTube. That's for sure. I would get a real job with real benefits. What even is that excuse they have families to support? Why are you playing The Sims on YouTube then, bro?
You go get a damn job. Yeah.
The only reason I can think these small to mid-sized creators are choosing to stay in the Creator Network is that they think now that the EA partner pool is smaller, that their chances of getting sponsorships is higher, or maybe they think EA is going to reward them for their loyalty to the company. In this video, Dr. Gluon says something along the lines of, what if they give me my own pack now? That would be funny.
They'll probably ask me to do a build for the next expansion pack. I'm like, really? Now you're gonna ask me? All this time? They want to do a Gluon pack. I'm like, really? Now? All these years.
Bruh, tell us what you're really thinking. YouTuber Urban Sims made this post where she said she's staying in the Creator Network because her connection to The Sims runs deeper than brand partnerships or early access. A trans viewer wrote a comment expressing disappointment in her decision, and her response was so wildly entitled. She accused this viewer of mocking her and chastised them for not being respectful.
What?
Let me get this straight. A trans person said they were disappointed by Urban Sims' decision to support a company whose new owners execute trans people, and instead of responding with empathy like a normal person, she made it all about her. Kim, there's people that are dying. Why do they continue to only think about themselves? And I'm just gonna be blunt as hell about this. If you are a Sims creator, big, medium, or small, and you have to work with EA in order to achieve a modicum of success, you suck at content creation. I'm sorry, no gaming creator needs to work with a game company or be in a Creator Network in order to achieve success. There are plenty of creators who don't work with game companies and do very well. It's not an excuse. You're only hurting yourself by choosing to stay in this program. And to try to dismiss the gravity of the situation by chalking it up to just do what you want and be who you are.
We should enjoy what we enjoy, and that should be important. You should be who you want to be regardless of what people tell you. And I think that's important.
What in the middle school assembly is going on? Truly, amid the departure of several content creators from the Creator Network, EA has been working really hard to do damage control. First of all, they sent out this email to EA partners, essentially just telling them that they're still super duper committed to them. Part of the email read, "We want you to know that we see the broader conversation happening around EA. It's important to reiterate that our mission, values, and commitment to players and fans around the world are not changing, and The Sims will continue to be a space where you can express your authentic self." The EA partner who posted that email on Twitter captioned it with the words, "Feeling hopeful about the future." No comment. on that caption. And a few days ago, The Sims partnered with It Gets Better, an LGBTQ nonprofit, where they invited Sims influencers to stream the game and raise money for charity. Fundraising is great, we love to see it. I'm not criticizing that aspect of it, but I hope it's clear to everyone that the timing of this charity stream was not a coincidence. They didn't just randomly organize this live stream weeks after announcing that EA will be sold to a government that executes gay people. This is damage control at its finest. Is it working? Well, not for me, and hopefully not for you guys. But if there's one thing I've learned from studying the Sims community is that a lot of them take everything megacorporations say and do at face value. EA just released their earnings for the second quarter of the year. Sales were down 13%. Net profits were down by a massive 53%. But there's something else that stood out to me even more. In the report, they stated that they will no longer be discussing future sales projections due to the impending buyout, which is set to be completed by the spring of 2026. This whole time, I was under the impression that this deal was closing in the summer, but it's literally less than 6 months away. Unfortunately, this means that there's not very much time left, and it appears more and more likely that there won't be any hurdles getting in the way of this deal. I still hope that people will continue boycotting the game and speaking about this issue, especially if you're a fan of The Sims and you care about this game's future. I've seen a few people saying they hope The Sims and Maxis will get sold to another company. I talked about this in a previous video, but as long as The Sims 4 remains profitable, that won't be happening. And even when it does, it won't be something that happens until years later down the road. So in the end, it really does appear that this buyout is the final nail in the coffin for the Sims franchise. I don't want to be all doom and gloom. I think it's great that we have alternatives coming like Paralives. I've been trying not to talk about them in these videos because I don't want to put too much pressure on the Paralives team, but I feel like they're the most poised to kind of take over the torch of The Sims in a way. And it's also great to see so many content creators in the Sim space distancing themselves from EA. Since my last video, more creators such as The English Simmer, MyShuno-san, and Iron Seagull have announced their departure from the creator network. In his video about his decision to leave, Iron Seagull said this:
"There is a lot of corruption in the world, with bad people owning stakes in many things, and while it's incredibly hard to just boycott everything, at least this is one thing I can do instead of the alternative, which is to do nothing."
I like how he said that. And unless anything major happens, I'm going to be taking a little break from talking about the buyout, but worry not, I have several exciting videos coming up and more video game influencers to roast. And oh yeah, don't forget to wear your digital protection with CyberGhost VPN. It's risk-free, easy to use, and literally costs $2.03 a month. So keep yourself safe from all the evil networks in the land and unblock any blocked content online by using the link in the description to get CyberGhost VPN today. For now, I think I have some grass to touch. That's enough for today.
To the beat.